Well, it wasn't the smoothest of trips down the road from Glasgow for these Celtic supporters, but they got here and they're hoping it's going to be well worthwhile, because in their 11th league game of the season, Celtic have the chance to open up an 8-point lead over Rangers. It may only be for a couple of hours, but it's already a significant gap between the two title rivals, with the season less than 3 months old. These are the teams. Firstly, Kilmarnock. What the home team didn't want was more injuries. That's where they've got. Top scorer Chris Boyd counted out with groin trouble. Gary McSwegan fit enough only for a place on the bench. Peter Canero on the bench as well, continuing his recovery. Martin Hardie among the subs. And counted out beforehand, Gary Locke, Alan Mahood, and Craig Dargo. Former Clyde and Blackburn defender Gordon Greer plays for Kilmarnock for the second time.
Jim Jeffries looks like matching up with Celtic, playing 3-5-2. If that is the Kelly plan, then the middle five become vital. In the wide area, Shields and Fowler must match the forward runs of the Celtic wing backs, while the middle three of McDonald, Hessey and Fulton can't afford to lose control of that area.
That's Kilmarnock. Let's have a look at Celtic. Again, Alan Thompson out for a couple of weeks at least. Didier got rested with Europe in mind in midweek. Jos Valgaeren drops down to the bench. Jackie McNamara is back in the back three. Still no Johan Mjalby. Still Ian Petrov back after injury. And on loan, Michael Gray starting for the first time.
Liam Miller looks like starting down the right-hand side, while Michael Gray will be in the left side. Those two will be expected to supply the ammunition to the potent and powerful strike force of Sutton, Larsson and John Hartson.
John Hartson's only goal of the season was his 50th for Celtic, and it was the only goal of the first Old Firm match of the season. Hasn't scored in the 3 games since. Jim Jeffries knows exactly the challenge he faces. His 61st game in charge of Kilmarnock since taking over from Bobby Williamson. Martin O'Neill will have thoughts maybe now about Anderlecht in midweek, but once this one gets underway, full focus on moving 8 points clear at the top, he hopes. Hugh Dallas, MBE, is the referee for Kilmarnock against Celtic, and unzipped already in the pre-match interview. Kilmarnock against Celtic, underway. 10 minutes late at Rugby Park. Stan Varga keeping his place in the Celtic defence, starting off on the left side of the defence for Celtic, with Jackie McNamara on the right, Peter Balde in the middle, and interesting to see that there is no place in the first 11 for Jos Valgaeren, Sandy.
Well, it's a bit of a surprise, Rob. He certainly played last week, but I think that's a compliment to Jackie McNamara. McNamara was playing so well before he was injured, but an automatic selection now perhaps for Martin O'Neill.
Michael Gray with 4 substitutes appearances under his belt. Gets a chance to play from kick-off, and no, that's not the ball they need, it's the smaller version. In went Steve Fulton. 10 years since he left Celtic, Stevie Fulton, and at the age of 33, still a very influential player, and Kilmarnock hope he has a big say here today. He'll have to. Great to Petrov. Michael Gray, a 4-month loan deal from Sunderland, looking to win himself an extended stay with Celtic. It's a free kick conceded by Gary McDonald. Liam Miller, the young player of the month. Great, turning away from Shields. Hefty challenge, ungainly challenge, and a free kick conceded by Sean Hessey.
That's a silly challenge, Rob, from Sean Hessey. He's going to play Chris Sutton's area, but there's no way Hugh Dallas is going to let that taper tackle go. It's a tackle from behind, doesn't make any contact with the ball. Celtic are so dangerous from set pieces.
And surely part of Jim Jeffries' pre-match message was, don't give away silly free kicks within shooting range, and that's well within shooting range.
You're absolutely right. Could be a Larsson shot, could also be played into the back area for Bobo, Balde, etc.
Larsson scored the second goal of his 3 from just this position last Saturday against Aberdeen. Petrov alongside, Michael Greer just behind.
Chris Sutton and Sean Hessey having a go at each other.
There's Gordon Greer doing the tight marking job on Sutton. Larsson's effort off the wall and pumped away by Stevie Fulton. Good to see Gordon Greer and Chris Sutton getting to know each other in the opening minutes. Petrov. One of the surprising stats for Celtic this season is that Stilian Petrov has scored only 1 goal. Usually a plentiful supply of goals coming from the Bulgarian national team captain. But Celtic have managed without him, it's fair to say. 9 straight wins for Celtic after spilling points on the opening day at East End Park. But it's a minimal goal contribution from Petrov.
He's still very effective though, Rob. Makes great runs forward, goes beyond the strikers. That can be invaluable.
Liam Miller has featured in all 18 of Celtic's games this season. Michael Gray on the end of the back heel from Petrov. Greer clears. And Danny Invincibile almost onto it. I think he was surprised to see the ball.
That was also good play from Greg Shields here, Rob. He matched the run of Michael Gray, otherwise he'd have been through.
McNamara's delivery, and the free kick goes against Henrik Larsson. Good challenge from Barry McLaughlin.
That was Henrik Larsson just leaning in just a little bit. This is the earlier one, Michael Gray going forward. What's Greg Shields tracking Gray, picks up the loose ball, playing it back to Gordon Greer to clear the danger. That's good defending.
Well, we're talking about significant team selection from Martin O'Neill. Magnus Hedman starting for the 12th consecutive game. No Rab Douglas, and it's not good news for Bertie Vogts and Scotland with the playoff 2 weeks away. Jackie McNamara on the attack. Room for Liam Miller. Forced back onto his left foot, now Hartson. It's away from Miller. And Gordon Greer forces it away. Balde's header, now Lennon. Miller. Miller's cross is beyond Larsson. And no serious questions asked there at the Kilmarnock defence. Miller disappointed with his delivery into the area, but what a talent.
He's a fabulous player, Rob. He's almost established himself in the Celtic starting line-up now. I'm interested just to see where Miller plays today. If he's going to play wide on the right-hand side, or is Jackie McNamara going to push forward almost like a right back?
Sutton. Larsson was being held, still got the ball away. Gordon Greer, good use of the ball. That's not. Celtic have it back with Gray. Well, really nice had it come off. Looks as if it is a Celtic back four, doesn't it, Sandy?
I'm just looking, Robert. It looks awful like it. McNamara on the right-hand side, Michael Gray obviously left back, Varga and Bobo Balde, central defenders.
Is that maybe with Anderlecht in mind?
It could be, but I think also with today in mind as well. Liam Miller, I don't really see him being a natural wing-back type of player, but I'll give Liam Miller lots of scope to play wide or in a bit.
We heard from Sir John Orr pre-match, and he will stand down as Killie chairman in December. after the AGM. Over Balde on the loose, can't keep the ball though.
Was that a pass to Hugh Dallas by any chance?
Don't you start that again. Greer slipped as he played the pass. Giacomo slipped as he crossed the touchline. Only his 4th start, the 21-year-old Giacomo. And it is a reshuffled side this for Kilmarnock. It was Boyd and McSwegan up front last week. A totally new strike force here. It doesn't help against a team who are on top form domestically. And Danny Invincibile just can't get his foot on the ball.
He should have got that one, Rob. Tim Jeffries is far from happy with him.
It is a hell of a name to live up to, isn't it, really? You can't be good with that in the back of your shirt. Early rage from Jim Jeffries, Chick?
Yeah, he's just blown a gasket at Danny Invincibile for his first touch. I think his second touch was a header there, it was so bad, but he's just telling Kilmarnock to press on. He thinks Invincible's coming too deep, wants him to stay forward, pressurise Balde, maybe just press the whole game more.
McNamara's cross headed away by Dindeleux. And what Kilmarnock are struggling to do, that's a common phrase to use against the Old Firm, they just can't hold on to possession. Gordon Greer. Poor play from Hessey, gets a second chance. That's Varga. Good attacking of the ball from Gary McDonald, gets it back. Bags of determination, certainly in defence from Kilmarnock in these opening stages, but Celtic with 3/4 of ball possession so far. That's a big slice.
It is, Rob. If you're playing against Rangers or Celtic, the one thing you have to do is you have to be really determined, aggressive within the rules of the game, and we've seen it there from young McDonald in the middle of the park. Just a little bit too much there from Sean Hessey.
There's aggressive, and there's this.
You see, it's right in the back at Chris Sutton again. You don't get the ball, Rob. It's as simple as that. It's a free kick. As soon as you don't make contact with the ball, you hit the player instead. It's an easy one for the referee.
Kilmarnock will hope to gather confidence as the minutes tick by. 10 gone so far. Can they keep Celtic at bay? McLaughlin, the former St Mirren captain, lets it go. There's Gordon Greer, played 29 games for Clyde before heading south to join Blackburn. Only featured once in the top team under Graham Souness at Rugby Park, and the 22-year-old now a Kilmarnock player. For his first game last weekend, that's because of injury that he hasn't started previously. And Jim Jeffries now hoping he can get a run of games. For Sutton, for Celtic. Poor pass, and easily dealt with by McLaughlin. Back to Francois Dubourdeau, the former Motherwell goalkeeper, who's one of several Kilmarnock players on a short-term deal, 6-month contract, to try to prove himself. His 7th game for Kilmarnock, the 22-year-old Frenchman.
It's a free kick in Celtic's favour. Giacomo there on Bobo Balde. Again, Balde is so strong. You see Giacomo just pulling them back there to try to gain an advantage. Only 10 yards from the referee.
Michael Gray for Sutton, holds off the challenge of Hessey. Petrov opens play out beautifully. McNamara for Larsson. In goes Dindeleux. McNamara has it again. Petrov over elaborate Celtic when they might well have had a crack at goal.
There was an opportunity for Jackie McNamara, certainly a yard or two of space inside the Kilmarnock box. You see Jackie bringing forward again from the right back position. He's got time here, tries to set up Stanley and Petrov, but then the little 1-2, but too many Kilmarnock players on the road, too tight.
Hurt his hamstring, Jackie McNamara, in Brussels against Anderlecht. Missed the Aberdeen game last week, but he's back. Liam Miller, shot blocked by Greer. He's done well so far.
He's certainly been very involved with Greer. Hasn't done too much wrong.
Michael Gray's boot was too high. Kilmarnock have a free kick. 3 England Cups, Michael Gray, in his time. Six in the box for Kilmarnock. Steve Fulton's delivery played in too close to Hedman.
That's an easy one for the goalkeeper. No danger at all on the Celtic goal with that type of free kick. Stevie Fulton leans back here. There's too much height in the ball, not enough pace on it. Easy one for the big Swede.
And Steve Fulton held up his hand in apology after that delivery, which gave the 6 in the box no chance. And no chance has been what the front two have had for Kilmarnock so far. Invincibile and Giacomo. Little or no service, little or no ball. Sutton's pass, Larsson's flick. Instinctively knew that Miller was there. Jackie McNamara gets the chance to push up again, and the shot came off Larsson.
It must be a worry for Jim Jeffries, the amount of space that Jackie McNamara's picking up down the right hand side. Chris Sutton's get time to look up, play the pass, and acres of space for McNamara. One thought in his mind, but Henrik Larsson certainly getting in the road of that one.
Larsson will be disappointed he didn't deflect that one in.
But I think the formation that Celtic are playing today certainly confused Jim Jeffries early in the match.
That was Greer again. Flicked on by Invincibile. Doing the covering behind Balde was Varga, and Bobo Balde still down. Slowly getting back to his feet. And it's Giacomo for Kilmarnock. First chance for the home team in attack.
Corner kick for Kilmarnock, but we'll see the challenge here. I think it's a handball as much as anything else, and maybe Invincible's caught Bobo Balde at the same time. I don't think it was deliberate to take him out, but this is a chance for Giacomo. He should hit it just a little bit earlier, take the chance and maybe catch the goalkeeper wrong-footed. But he's won a corner kick, and he's won a sore eye.
Corner taken short from Giacomo, who gets it back from Fulton. Needs a good ball in, wasn't bad. Stan Varga got his head to it. Larsson holds it up, and then fires a pass in front of Sylla and Petrov. He claims he was being held by Gary McDonald. No free kick.
Dallas certainly get a very good view at that one.
Chick Martin O'Neill not happy.
No, he's not happy about a couple of things. The play wasn't stopped by Balde, that last decision there. In fact, there's a lot of action down here in the bench, Rob. Jim Jeffries having a real go at his players. Confusion in the Kilmarnock midfield. There's Martin O'Neill still raging at the linesman about the decision. Jim Jeffries' problem is who's picking up Liam Miller. He's having an argument with Stevie Fulton. Fulton just clearing up who's picking up the runs of Miller. He's getting a lot of space down the right hand side for Celtic, and that's what the debate's about.
It's when you look further down the pitch that you see a string of striped shirts stretched across the field as Kilmarnock try to cope with what Celtic are flinging at them. It's another good run from Liam Miller. Again, that question in the Killie midfield about who picks up the young Irishman when he bursts through, because he's ever keen to get in behind Hartson and Larsson.
He'll keep going, Rob, and so will Jackie McNamara down that side. The problem Killie have is they're playing 3-5-2, and James Fowler's on his own down that left-hand side against McNamara and Miller. Miller's coming infield, leaving McNamara loads of space because Fowler feels he has to follow Miller.
In the 17th minute at Rugby Park, well, Steve Fulton will have felt that from Bobo Balde.
I think Big Bobo's been second best in one or two occasions at the start of this game. He certainly wasn't going to be second best that time.
The earth moved.
That's what you call giving it the whole lot. High in the air, his momentum takes him right through Stevie Fulton.
Well, the good news for Kilmarnock is 17 minutes gone and no score despite Celtic's possession, despite Celtic's pressure. But Not really, not too much in the way of goal-scoring
I
opportunities
was
so
going to say
far.
that, Rob. Freddie Dubourdeau and the Kelly goal. Very little to do so far.
And you can just sense now in the Kilmarnock team a little bit of belief beginning to grow, a little bit of confidence, as they've seen what Celtic have done or tried to do so far. Now Kilmarnock want to get on the ball a little bit more and start to do some attacking of their own.
Well, today when you look at Kilmarnock, Rob, have absolutely nothing to lose. Celtic are in such a good run of form in the SPL that Kelly have to have a go, nothing else for it. If they sit back, they'll lose the game.
That was a lovely touch from Liam Miller with the back heel, which didn't quite work out for Chris Sutton, but it just shows you the confidence that's surging through the young Irishman. McLaughlin's header, now Fulton. Chase from McDonald, back goes Petrov. It's a Celtic free kick given against the 21-year-old midfielder. Greer to Petrov. Celtic working hard, looking for the breakthrough. Will it come? Penalty, yes, it might well, because it's a penalty given against McDonald.
It's a good move from Celtic, Rob. Petrov does this so well. It's a little 1-2. Larsson holds the ball up, a little back heel into Petrov's path, and McDonald. There's a little bit of contact made there, but he does the hard bit. He gets beyond McDonald. He's in a goal-scoring position, and if there's any contact at all, he's going to go down. Hugh Allison is a penalty kick.
Well, no one's been working harder than Stilian Petrov to try to bring about an opening goal for Celtic, and he just surged through and got on the wrong side of McDonald, and it was danger from then on. Chris Sutton scored from the penalty spot against Aberdeen last Saturday, and does so again at Rugby Park. It's 1-0 Celtic in the 20th minute.
It's a perfect penalty kick from Chris Sutton. First by Dubourdeau, he's trying to move across the goal, put Sutton off, but Chris has made his mind up. He knows exactly what he's trying to do, low and hard, down to the goalkeeper's right. This is good a penalty kick, as you'll see.
Rugby Park has some bad memories for Chris Sutton, despite scoring twice here on the final day of last season. He also spoke out of turn on that occasion after the match as Rangers won the title. But it's a great start here for Sutton and for Celtic. They're one ahead. McDonald to Shields. Corner kick.
That's good play again from Stilian Petrov. We've seen him a few minutes ago winning a penalty kick at one end of the pitch, but look how hard he works back here. Just enough to put Greg Shields off. Gives away a corner kick though.
Fulton's corner kick. Magnus Hedman, pretty unimpressive. Well, Balde was off the pitch while Chris Sutton was scoring the penalty there, getting treatment to a cut under his eye. That would be a concern for Celtic. There's so many big games upcoming, but you get the feeling it takes a lot to keep him out of a game. Chris Sutton unmovable on the ball despite a cluster of Kilmarnock players around him.
That's good determination there from the Celtic players. Gordon Greer just managed to get there before Henrik Larsson. But Chris Sutton fighting for that ball, and Henrik Larsson not giving up the 50-50 pass forward.
Free kick, another one. Michael Gray will head over to swing this one in, I think, left-footed from the right-hand side, after again Kilmarnock struggled to cope with the physical attributes of Sutton.
He's so strong, he wins so many free kicks, he entices challenges Chris Sutton. Now we've got Varga and Balde up from the back.
Greer with the free kick, good take from Francois Dubourdeau. No great challenge for it from Celtic, but confident handling from the keeper.
Wasn't the best of free kicks from Michael Gray. Not the same quality as Alan Compton produces, not the same pace in the ball.
Gray has stayed over on the right hand side. Miller to Sutton. Invincibile nips the ball away from him. That's better from Kilmarnock. Greer's clearance straight to Sutton. Larsson's cross blocked. That's McDonald. Invincibile. Tried to work it on to Balde Giacomo. No joy. Back with Celtic. Greer to Petrov. Booing for Stilian Petrov. The booing coming from the Kilmarnock supporters because they're not convinced that that was a penalty a few moments ago when Petrov appeared to be fouled by McDonald. Chris Sutton tucked away the spot kick. We'll have another look at that in a moment and see if the Kilmarnock fans have a claim. Hugh Dallas certainly was in no doubt as he pointed at the penalty spot. Liam Miller. John Hartson, Henrik Larsson, and Miller again! Brilliant effort from Liam Miller. What a goal that would have been, but what a clearance it was from Gordon Greer.
It's great play from Gordon Greer, but what a good move from Celtic. That's a fabulous ball from Henrik Larsson. Liam Miller continuing his run, kept his eye on the ball, certainly got it on target. It was going in, but Greer did his job really well, not giving up on it.
One 22-year-old clears from another, so close to Miller's 5th goal of the season. It was wonderful build-up. Good defending from Greer. Michael Gray's corner, and again confident goalkeeping.
It's still a pure ball as well, Rob. Easy one for the goalkeeper, very similar to the free kick that Gray took a few minutes ago.
Now a chance to see the penalty incident again with Stilian Petrov on the ball here, and he's about to get it back, Sandy.
He goes in front of McDonald. That's the important factor, Rob. I tell you, there's very, very little contact. Hugh Dallas certainly had a very good view of it, and I watched him. I watched his reaction. He awarded the penalty kick right away.
Yeah.
But I don't think you're allowed to say it, but it was certainly a soft one when you look at that angle.
Well, Stilian Petrov made it look very convincing. There was no doubts with Hugh Dallas, but as you can see from that, bags of doubts about whether that was a penalty or not. It looked to me as if there was very little contact, and it looks to me as if Gary McDonald is very unlucky to have the penalty awarded against him there.
There didn't seem to be an awful lot of complaints from McDonald or his Kilmarnock teammates either, so I'll be interested to see what...
Did you see much of that?
No, I didn't see much contact. I think it's a madness run from Petrov. He's really well to get beyond his midfield opponent.
Michael Gray on the attack for Celtic. Support from Liam Miller. That's off Greg Shields, and behind for the corner. Greg Shields, ex of Rangers and Dunfermline and Charlton, and he's used in a number of different positions for Kilmarnock. Petrov's corner. Back from Miller. That's deflected off McDonald. Back with Celtic midfielder Miller. He was being held, and he did hold off Invincibile. Gray's cross. Balde up. Now Hartson. Concerted Celtic pressure.
Keller just pinned back for Rob. Every Kilmarnock player within 40 yards of the goal.
Another Celtic corner, again off Shields. This time it was Larsson forcing the issue. Henrik Larsson, 12 goals for the season after a hat-trick last Saturday against Aberdeen. Cheers and jeers for Petrov as he goes across to take the corner kick. In from Petrov, away by Dindeleux. Petrov heavily involved. Lennon to Balde. Missed by both Hartson and Dindeleux, but through to Dubourdeau. The Kilmarnock fans not at all happy with Sylla and Petrov, and any time he dares to go near them, they're telling him so. Not quite in those terms. Let us know what you thought about the penalty incident. 07736 600 600 or via the BBC website, bbc.co.uk/sports Scotland. Was it a penalty? And what generally do you think about the game so far? Let us know, and we'll either put those on screen or read them out later. Good running from James Fowler, and the free kick goes against him.
That's the first time I've seen Fowler go forward down that side, but McNamara and Liam Miller, Neil Lennon involved as well there. Miller doing well defensively. He's been nice and strong, holding his opponent off.
James Fowler's 100th first team appearance for Kilmarnock. That's good play from Barry McLaughlin. There's no greater pressure on any defender than having Henrik Larsson breathing down your neck.
No, he caught well there, McLaughlin.
The big problem for Kilmarnock, Sandy, is that it's all on the back foot, isn't it?
It is, they can't keep the ball up front at all. The Giacomo and Invincibile, they haven't had the best of service. We've seen that big, high, hopeful ball forward, and really the Varga and Balde, that'll certainly suit those two. They've got to try and get the ball into feet or down the channel to try and turn the Celtic back four.
There's a foul by Greer on McDonald. He had his hand on his shoulder as they jumped for the high ball.
Not too much in it, but you see Greer over the top of McDonald there. Hugh Dallas rightly awarding a free kick in Kilmarnock's favour. It's got to be a better quality this time from Stephen Fulton.
Plenty of targets for him, certainly, in the penalty box. The left foot of Steve Fulton. The head of Chris Sutton, commanding. Liam Miller's pass doesn't quite make it over the top of Greg Shields. Larsson to Gray. Michael Gray's cross, well, it was into a tempting area, but neither Hartson nor Sutton could get in there.
That was a great ball in from Michael Gray. Just a little bit too quick for his forwards that time.
Lots of changes in the Celtic team, 3 changes from last weekend's team, but the song remains the same for them. They still have this incredible momentum, looking for a 10th straight win in the Premier League and maintaining their unbeaten tag. Hartson's way off, in from McNamara. Kilmarnock get it clear. But invariably, in getting it clear, they're giving the ball back to Celtic. Gray to Larsson, left it for Hartson. Good anticipation from Gordon Greer. And you can see why Kilmarnock have high hopes for the former Clyde defender. He's been impressive so far.
He's had to play well, Rob. There's been a lot of pressure on him. A lot of Celtic, good play from Celtic through the middle.
Chris Sutton's pass, Henrik Larsson had peeled away to receive it. The return goes behind Sutton, but it's Miller and Larsson. Dindeleux there to head clear. And it's a crazy pass really from Danny Invincibile, because it was over-ambitious and it was inviting Celtic to win it back. Free kick against the challenge on Paul Giacomo.
It's better play though from Kilmarnock, Rob. It was up to Giacomo's feet, allowed to take the ball in, and he's won the free kick, which takes the pressure off their back line.
If you're watching and wondering why we've played less than 32 minutes, the match kicked off more than 10 minutes late because of road trouble. And well, the big talking point of the first half remains this: the back heel from Henrik Larsson. Petrov got in behind Gary McDonald. Was there the sort of contact which merited a penalty award? Well, Jim Jeffries didn't think so, Chick.
Did you just guess that, Rob, or did you know that was definitely coming?
I don't think so myself, actually. What
no,
do you think?
Jeffries definitely doesn't think it was a penalty kick. That's clear from his reaction to it all. The instructions to Kilmarnock at the moment on the bench are to shorten the passes. They think they're playing too long a ball, trying to find the thread through the eye of a needle. They just want to shorten the game a little bit, play short passes, the way Celtic are doing right now, actually.
That was what I thought, Sandy, when Danny Invincibile played that huge crossfield pass. Keep it simple, keep the ball.
They've got to keep the ball and keep possession, try and work themselves further up the pitch, because they are holding a very, very line deep in the park defensively. James Fowler for Paul Di Giacomo, won't catch it. Well, you've seen the penalty incident now a few times, Sandy. Well, from that last angle, Rob, I don't think there's contact made. You know, I give Petrov lots of credit for getting beyond his marker, but he certainly went down very, very easily. A hard one for the referee, to be fair on him. They were very close together.
And I take your point as well, Sandy, in that strangely there was very little reaction from Gary McDonald, the Kilmarnock midfielder. You would have thought he would have been screeching at Hugh Dallas, because it just seemed there was little or no contact there.
Check will find out for us at half time.
33.5 minutes on the clock. Kilmarnock 0, Celtic 1. There's certainly been a lot of grit and determination about Kilmarnock, if a distinct lack of goal-scoring chances for them.
They haven't created too much going forward, Rob, but they have defended in general fairly well. A little bit deep at times, as we said, but Dubourdeau has very little to do, and that's the surprising thing when you look at the possession that Celtic have.
Yeah, hasn't had a save to make, Dubourdeau, but he has had to pick the ball out of the back of the net. Steve Fulton, the Kilmarnock captain. An unnecessary challenge there from Liam Miller. Free kick given away.
I think it's frustration, Rob. Stevie Fulton does well to protect the ball, showing all his experience here, and young Miller. It's a little calling card.
Bank of Scotland Young Player of the Month for October. He's been in fine form. 4 goals so far this season. Dindeleu's free kick. Stan Varga's header. Now Steve Fulton. John Hartson's challenge. It's with Invincibile, but not for long.
That's a chance, Rob. Invincible's got to keep the ball. Got to try and link in his midfield players if Keller are going to create an opportunity.
Fulton. Footing lost at the crucial moment from Gary McDonald. It's frustrating at the moment for Kilmarnock fans.
There's no need for that poor pass from Sean Hessey. Not under any pressure at all. His roll at 10 yards to a teammate.
Assigned man of the match, top, a Bank of Scotland family match day, a digital radio. Those are the prizes in the man of the match competition. Sandy will decide later on. And increasing concern about Bobo Balde and that blow he took under his eye. The eye seems to be closing up, and we'll hear from Chick in a second about the obvious concern in the technical area, Chick.
Yeah, Balde's eye is closing up. I would have looked at it there. He just won't turn for our cameras. He seems to know what the cameras are, but take it from me, his other eye is closing up quite badly. Some concern now for the Celtic dugout, but I don't know if Balde needs to see Big Bobo needs to see the ball, does he, to play it?
He wasn't just winking, was he?
Hopefully not.
Petrov, Sutton, Greer. Played away by McLaughlin to Di Giacomo. Now Invincibile. That's better. Keeping the ball, getting away a simple pass. Through McDonald to Fulton. And out wide James Fowler. Varga heads it clear. Back from Hessey. In goes Shields, and again Greg Shields, just wide. Well, that was the product of simple passes.
You're right, Rob. It's 1 or 2 passes for the first time from Kilmarnock in the last third of the pitch, and Greg Shields is really determined there. Wins the ball off Michael Gray, gets to the loose ball first, and it's really unfortunate. He stabs at it eventually. This is a great challenge, but reacts really well. And he's very unfortunate it's not on target.
It went through the legs of Stan Varga, which made it awkward for Magnus Hedman. And had it been a couple of feet to the left, the Celtic goalkeeper might just have been beaten there. The first shot on goal from Kilmarnock, from the unlikely boot of Greg Shields. Now Paul to Giacomo. Poor ball in behind Gary McDonald, who'd gone up to support Danny Invincibile.
That's a pity off, because when Giacomo picks up that ball on the left-hand side, he's got options. Good support play from McDonald in the middle of the park. Invincible's there, and Shields was down the opposite side. Better from Kilmarnock.
Yeah, encouraging moments these for the home team, and well, once Kilmarnock starts building towards the Celtic goal, then you start finding some mistakes, although
that's too
it's
poor.
50-0.
Too poor was it both sides. Michael Gray taking his eye off the ball first of all. Sean Hessey again with a really poor pass, again without being under pressure. I think Jim Jeffries might have a word or two with him at half-time for his passing.
Back from McNamara to Hedman. Good news for Scotland that Jackie McNamara is back in top team action. That makes up for the disappointment that Paul Lambert is still not available for Celtic, and you would now doubt that he's going to be available for Scotland. That's an offside against Giacomo.
Look, I'm not too sure if Paul Lambert agreed with that one there. That was shaky his head a minute ago.
So sadly for Scotland, but Paul Lambert watching this one rather than playing in it, and he must now be a doubtful starter for Scotland-Holland. No free kick for Henrik Larsson. He was looking for an obstruction.
I think the ball
had gone.
Yeah, it's far too far in front of the ball.
Dindeleux, poor pass, mishit it. McNamara to Miller. Not sure if that was intended for Hugh Dallas, the pass, but it found its way through to Petrov. And now Greer. Nearly 40 minutes played at Rugby Park. The home team one down. Petrov who won the penalty. Sutton wanted too much time. Now Miller. Liam Miller again, finds some room to turn. John Hartson, and that was heading back to Miller until Sean Hessey intercepted and then took far too much time on the ball. Back with Celtic. Lennon to Hartson. McNamara again has acres of space wide right. The McNamara cross, Larsson was there, and Chris Sutton off balance as he struck the shot.
It's a chancellor off. Again, Jackie McNamara, acres of space, time to look up, play the ball in. Celtic don't win the first one, but Chris Sutton, good support play. Just snatches at it a little bit. His weaker foot, his left foot well off target.
The new Celtic chief executive, Peter Lowell, who's just taken command. Great to Larsson, lovely touch, despite the fact that Barry McLaughlin seemed to want to waltz with him.
It's interesting, Rob, the formation that Celtic are playing in the 4-4-2 that they've lined up with today. Still in Petrov's playing wide on the left-hand side for most of the game, just in front of Michael Gray. But he still has got the license to come well inside and cause problems as he goes forward.
Good enough players can play anywhere, Sandy, is that the motto?
Yeah, without a doubt, but he's maybe tied a little bit down that left side. Maybe doesn't get enough penetrating runs right through the middle. He certainly got there at the so-called penalty award.
The alleged penalty, my lord. Steve Fulton prods it back to Freddie Dindeleux. Kilmarnock finishing the first half feeling a little bit better about themselves than they did in the early stages, but they are still one down as Petrov threatens again. Left by Larsson for Miller. Having a long look at what's on. Sutton through for Hartson, he was onside, couldn't get his foot on the ball. Otherwise, there was a chance for Celtic to extend their lead.
I was looking for an offside there, Rob, but he certainly is onside. Just too much weight in the pass from Chris Sutton, trying to find Hartson to feet, just goes beyond him. It was Gordon Greer that certainly played him onside. But when you look at the first half, Kilmarnock have actually defended very well across their own 18-yard box. I keep saying the goalkeeper hasn't too much to do. The Celtic have certainly got their noses in front, and that's the important factor.
Chick, before you disappear up the tunnel, closing thoughts in the first half about how the two managers are viewing this?
A bit interesting. Like Billy Brown, my prediction is we speak to him at half time, he'll be absolutely angry. All this may create a change of mood, Rob.
Yep, Danny Invincibile wins a corner kick for Kilmarnock. Stan Varga's challenge, put the ball behind.
It's good play again from the front two, Kilmarnock. Invincibile getting that yard of space in behind the Celtic defenders, and that's the most dangerous area to get into. Wins a corner kick this time.
2 minutes of the 45 remaining. Greer and Dindeleux are up. In from the Giacomo. John Hartson's header. Larsson away from Shields. Petrov is rolling into the penalty box if Larsson can find him. The danger snuffed out, but the alarm bells were ringing there for Kilmarnock as nobody seemed to spot Petrov.
Tell you, Rob, it's a great break from Celtic from Kilmarnock's corner kick. Henrik Larsson does exceptionally well in everything apart from the final pass.
Yeah, it was a poor one, wasn't it?
He rolled it behind Petrov, and if he plays it in front of him, he's through on goal.
Michael Gray. Petrov to Sutton. Gray's cross. Greer heads it behind.
I tell you, I'm looking at Chris Sutton. I think he's been immense first half today. He's playing centre midfield in a 4, and he's been all over the park. He's been unbelievable, his energy that he's shown today. Created that opportunity down the left to win the corner kick. He's
in a great spell of form, Chris Sutton, bearing in mind he missed the first 5 league games of the season because of suspension, but since he's come back, he's burst back on the scene with a vengeance. Scoring goals, making goals, always evident. Petrov's corner, the punch from Dubourdeau, helped on its way by Shields. Lennon's shot deflected. Invincibile, overrun it. Sutton to Larsson. Off the post from Henrik Larsson. A fraction away from 2-0. Liam Miller. So elusive, Liam Miller. Very difficult for the Kilmarnock players to get to. Finally they did. The half-time whistle goes right on 45 minutes.
It looked like 2-0. What a pass that is from Chris Sutton. Larsson does incredibly well to turn his opponent. Does everything right across the goalkeeper towards the far post. How many times have we seen that type of shot hit the post and roll into the net? The Swede that time unlucky, but a great ball again from Chris Sutton.
Well, Chris Sutton has been superb. His pass there and his penalty, which has given Celtic the half-time lead after Sylla and Petrov, was alleged to have been tripped in the penalty box. We have grave doubts about it. I bet Billy Brown does as well.
Billy, let me ask you first of all, do you think it was a penalty?
No, well, I didn't think it was a penalty at the time, but I don't know, I haven't seen the replay, but you know, he gave a foul to us there when it should have been theirs, and you know, they usually get the things to even it up. It didn't look a penalty.
What have you made of Kilmarnock's first half performance?
Well, I thought we started the same as we start every time we play Celtic or Rangers. We started scared of them, and we're not getting up on the ball, and you know, they're not that great, they're not playing that well here. If we get up on the ball and get on top of them, we're going to give them a game at it, but we're only 1-0 behind to a dubious goal.
Yeah, I saw you out screaming. I mean, I think you were just saying exactly that. You're giving Celtic far too much respect.
Far too much respect. I don't know why we do it. You know, if we push up on them and keep the ball and play like we can play, we'll give them a game at it. But if we sit back there and wait for it to happen, it surely will.
I'll let you go and tell the players that, Billy. Thanks. Terry, will Martin be happy with that first performance by Celtic?
We had a lot of the ball. He'll be disappointed that we perhaps haven't had a second goal. Yeah.
From your point of view, he seems to have made his decision about the goalkeeper now. Does that take the pressure off? I mean, what was it like as goalkeeping coach when you'd the two guys vying for the position? It seems to have gone with Hedman.
It makes no difference to my job. I work as hard as I ever do with both goalkeepers and try to get them both ready for the game, and then it's the manager's choice who plays.
It does make a difference, of course, to Rob Douglas, who will be playing presumably in a playoff against Holland. Do you think he's ready for Scotland?
No problem. Rab will be ready for Scotland. He works extremely hard, and maybe we're able to fit him in with the 21 game. Obviously he would have liked a first team game. Maybe that might not happen for him.
If you were Bertie Vogts, you would, in fact maybe you'll even be speaking to Bertie Vogts. He may come to you to talk about Rab.
You pick your best goalkeeper. Rab's the best goalkeeper.
No doubt in your mind.
No doubt in my mind.
Thanks, Terry.
Pleasure.
Kilmarnock and confidence don't really go together too easily this season. No great thread of continuity running through the home team's early season results or performances. Injuries have been a recurring theme for them. They've won only once here at home. That was against Partick Thistle back in August. They're fourth from bottom currently, and of course they lost as well to Brechin in the CIS Cup. Jim Jeffries tries to lift things in the second half with the introduction of Peter Canero for James Fowler, and it looks as if he's going to slot in exactly where Fowler was playing, which is in the left wing back position.
You're right, Rob, it will be a straight swap. Canero is just back from injury, as Jim Jeffries was saying earlier, trained yesterday with the team for the first time, so his fitness might be a little bit of a problem, but the good atmosphere in the big game this is today, I'm sure he'll carry him through.
It was interesting to hear from Billy Brown ahead of half-time, and you must relate to that sort of the words he was uttering from your time in management. You know, they'd sat back and let Celtic play and just given them too much respect.
And the one thing you have to do, Rob, you have to win the battle for the privilege of passing the ball and playing football. It's as simple as that. If you sit off teams and let them play, especially with the quality that Celtic have, you're going to find life really difficult.
Liam Miller wins the first free kick of the second half.
It's good play again from Liam Miller. Forceful play from the middle of the park. Just see the little nudge there. Canero's first involvement in the game.
Screaming his instructions out, Francois Dubourdeau, and everyone naturally enough behind this for Killy. Miller over the ball, Larsson over the ball, Varga there too. .80 seconds gone in the second half. Larsson's free kick into the wall and turned out to play by the substitute Canero. Just 22, Peter Canero, player of a fair bit of potential. Miller's cross, headed away by McLaughlin. Cushioned pass from Fulton. Gets it back from Canero. Needs to be more prominent for Kilmarnock in the second half. Steve Fulton needs to play better passes than that.
He didn't really give that Invincibile a chance there at all with that pass. Good play though, driving forward, going beyond to Sutton. As the penetrating pass has got to be right to create a chance.
Jackie McNamara. 8 years at Celtic Park now. And first pick for Scotland if he's fit. 30 votes. Hopes he can have him against Holland in the playoffs. Dindeleux down the line. Chris Sutton everywhere for Celtic. Some power of work he puts in.
He's so versatile, Rob. He plays all three areas of the pitch equally well. Very good up front, holding the ball up, being the target man. Works so hard in the middle of the park, very creative. And I've seen him play centre back very effectively as well. But
Celtic have got so many players as well, like Sutton, who just hate losing. That's Canero backtracking. Got ahead of Miller to nod the ball back to Dubourdeau. Refreshing ourselves on the two lineups. Canero for Fowler is the only change in the Kilmarnock side. Celtic as they were.
Free kick there for Kelly. Balde, Giacomo, a little push on Varga at the back.
As long as it stays at 1-0, Kilmarnock will feel they've got a chance, but they need to give a lot more in this second half. They'll feel fortunate they didn't go 2 goals down when Larsson struck the inside of the post late on in the first half. They'll also feel cheated at the award of the penalty. And just that one shot on goal so far from Greg Shields, which trickled past the post. Gary McDonald gets the better of Hugh Dallas. Sean Hessey, the sitting player in midfield. Alongside him is Steve Fulton, wearing the captain's armband. And picking out Canero, good header. Gets it back from Giacomo. But the pass from Giacomo took the sting out of the Killie attack, just as Canero was moving into a promising position.
This is a real chance, Rob. If it's a better touch from Giacomo, if he just plays it in the path of Canero there, he certainly goes beyond Jackie McNamara and causes the fullback a problem. But it didn't happen because of the poor pass.
Free kick is given for an offside flag. But I like the look of Canero, Sandy, and I think he gives a freshness to Kilmarnock's play, and he's showing already that he doesn't want to be sitting back in a defensive wing-back role. He wants to be getting into the opposition box.
I think that's why Jim Jeffries has got him on, Rob. He's a very good attacking player, gets great legs, gets forward, gets beyond people from that wide area, and certainly can cause problems.
Larsson's deft layoff to Michael Greer. Sylla and Petrov on the left side of the Celtic midfield. Now John Hartson holds it up effectively. In for Larsson, away by Dindeleux. Given away by Gordon Greer. Jackie McNamara touches the ball out of play because Henrik Larsson has taken a knock.
It's a knock in the head. It's the ball in from John Hartson. There's certainly no danger of it being a free kick. Freddie Dindeleux just heading the ball and heading Henrik Larsson at the same time, just following through there.
That's good play from Dindeleux. That's what you have to be against Henrik Larsson. You have to be there quickly, aggressively, decisively. Otherwise, he's going to do you serious damage.
You've got to be first to the ball, Rob. It's as simple as that. Otherwise, as you say, you'll make it count.
Dindeleux and Greer and McLaughlin done pretty well. So far they've been under a lot of pressure, and of course what Kilmarnock want to do in the second half is play further up the pitch.
Well, I've got to, and that could be the problem for them. The more players they commit forward, we all know Celtic are a very good team in the counter-attack, and they could get caught on the break. But at 1-0 down, I'm sure the home fans will demand that Jim Jeffries does that. Try and take the game to Celtic as much as possible.
Sutton's touch, Miller's pass, Dindeleux saw it coming, and Fulton plays it off McNamara. Wonder if Jim Jeffries is any happier at the way things are going here for the home team, Chick?
No.
All right, okay. Any more to say?
Well, if you want, but that just seems to cover it. Billy Brown, we saw his anger at the first half performance, and that I thought excellent half-time interview by him, and he's taking up where he's left off, Rob. He's still having a go. You can see disappointment there as he turned away from the play. Kilmarnock still not pressing the game enough for him, still too much space, and they tell McLaughlin to be really tight on Larsson.
Fulton's free kick. Corner kick. It was up ahead of John Hartson.
I think it was, Rob, but not the best of balls again from Stephen Fulton. For me, he's got to put pace in the ball from that right-hand side left foot. He tries to make life difficult for the defenders, and that's an easy one to defend against.
When you float it up like that, it's easy to deal with, isn't it? Giacomo with the Kilmarnock corner. Again, it's floated up at the back post, and Balde has so much time to get underneath it. Petrov to Lennon. Neil Lennon quietly efficient as ever in the middle of the Celtic midfield, linking play together, keeping Celtic on the move, keeping up the momentum.
There's a fell throw there from Michael Gray. I think the ball slipped as much as anything else, but the throw down Kilmarnock's favourite.
That's the man of the match telephone number. Sandy will decide later. If your choice agrees with his, you could be in for a prize. Julian Petrov gets his pass away to Henrik Larsson, and he failed to pick out Michael Gray. Greg Shields down the line for Giacomo. Good challenge by Chris Sutton, but Giacomo still has it, but he can't unlock the Celtic defence. And again, for the Giacomo, final ball not good enough.
He should have put it wide left off. I would have taken a perfect pass to get through in the middle. A very difficult ball to play, but if you look here, Canero's in acres of space wide the right hand, left hand side.
And at the other end, Freddie Dindeleux in with a sliding challenge on Liam Miller. He gets the ball away to Peter Canero. The Giacomo. Chick, is that Kilmarnock dugout okay over there? It's still shaking, isn't it?
I don't know if vandalism's an offence for my manager, but Jim Jeffries in anger just did a boot at the sponsor sign in the dugout. It's collapsed, and the fourth official just did a word with him. But I think, with a wry smile on it, just his frustration coming out. Robert, a boot at the dugout, and the sponsor sign fell off.
Larsson's back heel, and Petrov was fouled that time, no doubt about that one.
No, you're right, Rob. He actually does this well, Sterling Petrov. He goes beyond and across the defender, he entices the challenge, as he probably tried to do at the penalty kick. But no doubt about that one, Greg Shields catching him.
A word in the ear of Greg Shields, and I think Hugh Dallas has had a word with Jim Jeffries as well. In fact, he's heading his way now. He's going to tell him to calm down, or words to that effect. Chick, see if you can listen in.
Yeah, he's having to calm down, I think, quite simply. I think I wasn't aware of the incident earlier on, but Jim Jeffries' frustration boiling over at that. Award him a free kick. Hugh Dallas had a word with him, spoke to Shields. Jim Jeffries did shut up.
That wasn't a warning about breaking the dugout, was it?
No, I don't think so. I think vandalism was an offence in the Scottish game.
Gray's free kick, and challenged was Barry McLaughlin. Steered his header straight at Neil Lennon. Gray into the feet of Larsson. Michael Gray hits the deck in the penalty box. Danny Invincible's challenge. No great claims there for a penalty, and I think Hugh Dallas would be a brave man to have pointed to the spot again there.
Michael Gray's certainly not looking for any award.
Celtic looking for another goal to feel more secure that the points are heading back to Glasgow with them, and if they can win, it's an 8-point lead with Rangers playing Partick Thistle in a 3 o'clock kickoff. In from Miller, Larsson trotted away by Greer. McNamara's cross, Hartson's header straight at Francois Dubourdeau.
It's good play from Celtic down the right hand side. It's a good ball from Jackie McNamara. Finds Hartson, gets there first bit ahead of McLaughlin, gets it on target, but not enough to hurt the goalkeeper.
Well, you do think that Kilmarnock have a chance the longer the scoreline stays at 1-0, but you also have to think, Sandy, where's the goal going to come from?
Well, that's right. Magnus Hedman hasn't been trouble at all in this game. Killip had a few set pieces but haven't made them count at all, haven't created an opportunity. But you've got to say at this moment in time, Celtic are not really producing too many chances going forward either. As they say, the next goal will be vital.
Greer to Canero, the half-time substitute. And Kilmarnock will think as well about Colin Nish possibly and Gary McSwegan. Shields, McDonald, now Hessey, and it's skimmed off the head of Neil Lennon, no offside, on its way through to Magnus Hedman, and that was a promising situation for Kilmarnock.
It was, Rob, but no end product, no shot. Greg Shields seemed to have the best opportunity to maybe fire off a shot. Have a go, take a chance. You might just get something. But I just wonder how long it'll be before Jim Jeffries changes his strike force.
Yeah,
I would think McSwegan's a certainty to come on, I would think.
Yeah, what he also has, Sandy, I mentioned Nish and McSwegan who score goals. He's also got Martin Hardie, of course, who plays the midfield, but he's got a great goal-scoring record with Partick Thistle, of course.
Yep. Well, they need a goal, it's as simple as that. Those three names that you've mentioned have all been in target this season.
It was one of the amazing things about the starting lineup for Kilmarnock that when you ran through the list of all 11 players, how many goals have they got between them this season? 3.
Well, maybe that's why they haven't looked scoring at all today.
And that was exactly the number Henrik Larsson put past Aberdeen himself last weekend. Still 1-0 Celtic at Rugby Park. Chris Sutton's penalty separates the sides in terms of scoreline. In the 60th minute, Kilmarnock 0, Celtic 1. Invincibile. Great challenge from Neil Lennon to win it. And that set still in, Petrov in motion. Now Larsson. Petrov again. Miller. Well, queuing up Celtic. Can they find a way through? Michael Gray, Henrik Larsson, good header, Freddie Dindeleux. And diverted by Hessey to Fulton, and now Canero. Well, we talked about Kilmarnock's lack of attacking ingenuity, but Celtic themselves need a little bit of spark as well if they're getting another goal, Sandy.
Well, Rob, I think that last attack from Celtic, there are lots of passes, lots of space, but no real penetration. I've seen them attack teams quicker, with more pace, with more power, more direction than they have today. Maybe the system playing 4-4-2, which is slightly unusual for them, hasn't worked too much. There's a free kick.
Well, there could be 3 accused Celtic players in terms of that free kick. Liam Miller flung himself in. Jackie McNamara was there as well as Paul Giacomo tried to find his way through.
There was a mixture there. It was a sandwich to say the least, but I think Liam Miller's going to find himself in the book.
So Liam Miller booked.
I don't think Roberts for that one free kick. I think he'll find that score consistent throughout.
News of a possible second substitution for Kilmarnock in minutes after the free kick. 7 in and around the box for Kilmarnock. Steve Fulton's delivery. Well, the header was won by Gordon Greer at the back post, but he didn't get enough on it to be any problem to Celtic.
It's a better ball from Stevie Fulton. The goalkeeper can't come for it. Not a lot of pace on it, but Greer certainly getting there first. But a good challenge, good pressure from McNamara and Varga, not allowing the Kilmarnock defender to get any power on it to get it on target.
Well, Kilmarnock about to put second substitute on the pitch. Colin Nish getting ready, Chick.
Yeah, Colin Nish is coming on for Danny Invincibile. That's going to be the change. I think there might be further switches up after that as well. Gary McSwegan, as Sandy was hinting earlier on, also the manager's thoughts, but it's Nish for Invincibile with the first change.
So difficult to get the ball away from Celtic when they have it. McNamara for Larsson. Good defending from McLaughlin, but Larsson has it back. Too much on the pass for Petrov. McDonald won the challenge against Gray. Peter Canero. Long ball from Gordon Greer. Paul Giacomo's after it, does well to get on the end of it as well. Putting pressure on both Gray and Varga. Better play from Kilmarnock, better play from Paul Giacomo.
It's more determination from Giacomo, it's as simple as that. It's got to be that way.
Danny Invincibile off. Colin Nish on. Nish, the former Dunfermline striker, couldn't get regular football at East End Park. Looking to make his mark here with Kilmarnock, the 22-year-old Nish. 2 goals for him so far this season. So John Orr, the Kilmarnock chairman. And Kilmarnock with their best effort on goal so far. Gary McDonald's effort turned round the post by Magnus Hedman.
That was a great first touch from Colin Nish. Just lays it back to McDonald's path. It's on target. I tell you what, for a goalkeeper who hasn't much to do, that's a fabulous save from Magnus Hedman in goal.
Good pressure from Kilmarnock. Can they keep it on? In from Fulton, skimming off ahead of Hartson. That was Gordon Greer back into the danger area. Greg Shields this time. There was a tug at the shirt, surely, of Nish from McNamara. Corner kick is the outcome, and Jackie McNamara looks to be a lucky lad.
This is interesting, Rob. I think there is a tug, but there's also a handball from Colin Nish. I don't know what incident takes place first. I think there's a tug, then there's a handball. So what are you going to give that? A hard word for the referee? I'll take these off, so I'll give a corner kick.
Well, there's no doubt Jackie McNamara had a fistful of Colin Nish's shirt there. Giacomo fires in the corner, off the head of McNamara. Big block by the Scotland defender. Shields tries to stay with Larsson. Settles for the throw in the end.
That's good striker play from Henry Larsson. Absolutely no support from his midfield players because of the Kilmarnock corner kick. That's the only thing available to him. Run with the ball as far up the park as possible and try and win a throw in or a corner kick.
And Sutton forces a corner. .25 minutes left. Kilmarnock 0, Celtic 1 at Rugby Park. We've seen Kilmarnock go the closest they've been to scoring. Now Celtic go looking for number 2. Michael Gray's corner, punched by Francois Dubourdeau, and still in. Petrov fires the ball too high. Well, that looked like the wrong decision from the young French goalkeeper. He could have been punished here.
I think he should catch it, Rob. He's out, he gets 2 hands onto the ball. For me, it's an easy catch. He gets off the hook because Petrov can't get this one on target. Poor decision from the goalkeeper.
Well, Kilmarnock Celtic live on BBC Scotland, and you'll see all the goals from all the other 3 o'clock kickoffs in the Bank of Scotland Premier League on Sports Scene Results from 4:30. Every goal, every game, every week. I think that's the phrase. John Hartson's layoff on loan Michael Gray. Petrov takes another tumble. It's been a Saturday lunchtime full of tumbles from Petrov, and one of them in the first half won Celtic a penalty. A dubious award, to say the least. In for Larsson. There's Hartson looking to get turned. And laid it off for Liam Miller, whose shot flashed wide. Great chance to get Celtic 2 in front.
Good play, it's an early free kick. Henrik Larsson back to John Hartson, who shows great strength to play it back to Liam Miller, and young Miller will be disappointed in that one. You've got to hit the target from there. He gets a clear view on goal. Try and make the goalkeeper work. Try and make the defenders block it. That's a yard wide.
Kilmarnock stay in touch at just 1-0 down. That's out of play. More live football coming your way on Thursday night, Thursday early evening to be more exact, in France. Bordeaux against Hearts in the second round of the UEFA Cup, live from BBC Scotland. That's on BBC 2 from 5:15. It's a 5:30 kickoff our time.
Are you joining me in Bordeaux?
I think we'll be sampling some football over there. Dindeleux trying to cope with Hartson. It's gone behind for a corner.
Good play from John Hartson again. He's so strong. Petrov involved. Hartson does this so well. It just pushes people out the road, bullies them almost as much as anything else, and does well to win the corner kick.
Pressure on Dubourdeau. Miller's cross headed away by Dindeleux. There's Sutton. A good challenge from Sean Hessey as well. Back from Petrov to McNamara. Played into the corner from John Hartson. Hooked away by McLaughlin. First there, guess who? Chris Sutton. trying to scruff it out. Free kick against Gordon Greer. No complaints about that after the challenge on Larsson.
No, you're right, Rob, no complaints at all from the big stopper. He goes right through Henrik Larsson here. Larsson does that so well, just turning his opponent, gets a yard of space to go beyond him. But Greer just taking him out of the game.
Five for Celtic, just inside the box. Petrov to Larsson, wide for Gray. Sutton's header and John Hartson! It's 2-0, and that could be the goal which kills off Kilmarnock. It's Hartson's second of the season. It's 2-0 Celtic.
It's a great goal from Celtic, Rob. It's from the training ground. Petrov's free kick. This one's worked down the left-hand side. Great flick off from Chris Sutton, and that's a great header from John Hartson. I haven't seen too much of today, but we spoke about him bullying people. That's exactly what he does there. He's always going to be first to the ball. Real aggression, knocking people out the road, sheer determination, and that's a powerful header, giving the goalkeeper no chance.
70 minutes, and John Hartson adds to Chris Sutton's first half penalty. 2-0 Celtic, and Celtic now feeling a lot more positive that the 3 points are theirs, and that an 8-point advantage at the top of the table is also theirs. Heading now for a 10th straight win, Celtic. Hartson's second goal of an injury-interrupted season.
You would think that's it finished, Rob. And the sorry thing from Kilmarnock's point of view is that they've actually defended very well today, especially at set pieces, winning lots of ball in the air. But that time, Sutton and then Hartson proving too strong.
Giacomo, McDonald supporting Nish. Colin Nish wanted too much time to make up his mind, but Balde nipped the ball away from him. And Kilmarnock are going to make another change check.
Yeah, Gary McSwegan will be coming on, and it'll be Giacomo who's coming off as Jim Jeffries trying to salvage something out of this. Watch for that change in a moment or two.
Fulton with the crossfield pass to Greg Shields. Back goes Petrov. Well, some Kilmarnock fans can't bear to look, but if he takes off his hood, you'll see the score line, which is Kilmarnock 0, Celtic 2. Good work from Greg Shields, wins a corner off Stan Varga.
There's also no nonsense defending, Rob, from Varga. He was never going to allow Shields to play the cross in.
And no nonsense defending is what Martin O'Neill insists on. Gary McSwegan waiting to come on. Fulton's corner. Missed by everyone, including Gordon Greer at the back post. And Jackie McNamara can let it go. But he looks like he'll be a good player with a run of games Sunday.
He's played well, Rob. He's been very determined. He's been strong in the heart of the Killie defence. And remember, you've got to look at the players he's playing against. Henrik Larsson, John Hartson. Strong players, quality players.
Pulled Giacomo off. Gary McSwegan on. Can McSwegan get a goal back and give the Kilmarnock fans some hope?
I'm sure it'll be simple instructions from Jim Jeffries. Go and get 2 goals. Easy as that.
Well, he did it against Dunfermline a couple of weeks ago, didn't he?
Okay.
In goes Miller, and caught by a high boot. And I think Gordon Greer is going to get booked for this.
Again, it's persistent fouling, Rob. He catches Miller just a fraction late, but I think he's going for the ball. But it's a high foot, it's dangerous play, and catches young Miller. But the yellow card, I don't think's for that decision on its own. There's certainly been 2 or 3 against him. Got to be careful as a defender.
Chris Sutton for Stan Varga, looking to knock it down for Henrik Larsson. It was too close to Francois Dubourdeau, and the Kilmarnock goalkeeper grabbed it. Stevie Fulton. Sean Hessey. with Greer and all the way back. Nearly 74 minutes of this match gone. That's poor from Gordon Greer. A waste of possession, but Celtic certainly didn't waste their possession here in setting up the John Hartson goal. And you got the feeling whenever the ball was in the air, it was always going to be John Hartson who was going to be there first. And well, it was a header which gave Francois Dubourdeau not a hope.
We didn't really see the build up to the goal there, Rob, but it's come from a Celtic free kick off the training ground, one that McNamara's obviously worked on. There's a shot, one Petrov into Henrik Larsson, away to Greer to supply the cross.
Free kick against Hartson. John Hartson trying to explain his methods to Hugh Dallas. Waste of time, waste of breath. But John Hartson will have enjoyed that goal. Feels that he's been playing well, Hartson, in the last few games. Feels he's been playing as well as he has done since signing for Celtic, despite a lack of goals since that Old Firm season's opener for him. Dindeleux, Canero, back with Fulton. McDonald gets forward. Now Hessey. Good effort from Sean Hessey.
It's a decent shot from Hessey, but watch Colin, that's just in the follow-up here. If Hedman spills this at all, the big striker would have stuck it in the back of the net, so give the goalkeeper credit.
It's off the head of Dindeleux, Larsson there, and Greer. Larsson right on the byline. Chris Sutton taps it in for his second and Celtic's third. It was so easy for Celtic, and they're now cruising toward 3 points.
You're right, Rob, but I tell you what, this is a great ball from Henrik Larsson. I think the pass before that, marvellous finish from Sutton, of course. But I think if John Hartson had played that towards the goal, Henrik Larsson would have one thing in his mind: I'm going to score myself. But he didn't have that option because it's too wide. But what a run from Chris Sutton. Look where he comes from. He's not in the picture yet, but I tell you what, he gets there before everyone else. That's a magnificent goal from his point of view.
Chris Sutton takes his season's tally to 8, and that after a delayed start, of course, because of suspension. He has been in rip-roaring form.
Rob, he's been
I would think he's a contender for man of the match.
Well, he's certainly in the frame at the moment. He's been all over the field. It's as simple as that. I'm sure. I'm just thinking now, Rob, this Martin Neil have a wee look at Wednesday night and get some fresh legs on the field.
Sean Maloney, maybe.
Is he getting changed?
Well, it was a good finish from Chris Sutton, wasn't it, Sandy? But defensively, you've got to look at that as well and think that while Sutton attacked the ball, nobody really wanted to get there first for Kilmarnock.
I think the big factor as well, Rob, was John Hartson picking up the ball, running at the edge of the box. Again, he just bullied the defenders out of their own, forced the issue, took control, and Sutton doing exactly the same. We keep saying about forwards, to score a goal you have to get across the front of defenders, and that's a perfect example from Chris Sutton.
2 for Sutton, 1 for Hartson. 3-0 Celtic. Henrik Larsson in non-scoring shocker.
Certainly, yeah.
Gary McDonald bursting through from midfield and looking for Hugh Dallas to balance things up. He having been penalised in the first half for an alleged offence against Petrov, but I don't think there was really ever going to be much chance of McDonald getting a penalty that time.
No, I don't think so. It's a great chance from Chris Sutton. This is the opposite side of his game, working back from midfield. I guess complete contact on the ball there. He's not favourite to start with. He's got to time it absolutely right. I think the referee got that spot on.
Chris Sutton fulfilling several positions in the team for Celtic. He has been marauding everywhere for them in this match, and he has 2 of the 3 goals. Gordon Greer with a pass which asked much of Canero. Gets it back from Dindeleux. It's a A poor layoff from Nish. Martin O'Neill building up to a treble substitution. Liam Miller, Neil Lennon. Check who's coming on.
Well, it's a treble substitution. Ross Wallace, Sean Maloney and Momo Sylla. I was just checking my number actually. I thought I was going on myself there. I thought I was giving the nod. But just the three get on, and I'm not quite sure who's coming off yet, Rob. But obviously changing things around with the midweek Champions League game against Anderlecht in mind. And it's a debut, I think, for young Ross Wallace, isn't it? Left-sided player.
Yep, and one of the most exciting young players that Martin O'Neill has worked with. Just 18, we'll see him in a moment when he comes on, and he's blessed with a lot of natural football talent.
I've got to say, Rob, I'm looking forward to seeing young Ross Wallace play at this level. I've watched him under 21s, and he's exciting to say the least. Very quick, left-sided, talented player, as you say.
Well, if the ball doesn't go out soon, you might not see him at all, but with 10 minutes. Shields and McSwegan combine. Gary McSwegan's cross headed away by Bobo Balde. Will Celtic make their triple change? Yes, they will. That's Ross Wallace, just 18. And alongside him, Momo Sylla and Sean Maloney. John Hartson goes off after scoring the second goal. Sean Maloney looking to add to his 4 goals already this season. Michael Gray, having started, doesn't finish. The teenager Wallace will play in Michael Gray's position. Oh, it's taken a fair time to get this substitution organised. Could we not have done 3 at once, Chip?
Well, I made one last play got on, so Martin had a bit of debate about it. Neil Lennon's the last man they see there coming off. It gives Celtic a chance to shake things up with the midweek in mind, gives the players a rest. Actually, Neil Lennon's been replaced quite frequently recently.
Momo Sylla on. From Barry McLaughlin, plucked off the top of Colin Nish's head by Magnus Hedman.
Easy one for the goalkeeper again.
Henrik Larsson looking to add his name to the score sheet. Wallace, Sutton, McNamara. Now Varga. Full of trickery, young Wallace. Sean Hessey got on the end of his cross. Now Greg Shields. Stevie Fulton, Greg Shields, Nish and McSwegan in the middle. That's way beyond both.
He's not looking at Greg Shields. As well to get to the dead ball line. Just can't find a teammate inside the box.
And that's another poor ball in the final third from Sean Hessey. Greer gets it back from Hessey. Can Kilmarnock get a goal back? Nish and McSwegan. Oh, who's there? Answer, no one, apart from Henrik Larsson. Now Ross Wallace. 3 up along with him. One is Sean Maloney. Is it going to be 4? It is. It hasn't taken Sean Maloney long to strike. Not far away from his first touch of the ball. And it's 4-0 Celtic, Maloney's 5th goal of the season.
It's a simple one eventually, but it starts with Gary McSwegan giving the ball away. But young Wallace does really well here. He takes time, looks up. It's a marvellous pass to Maloney, who certainly doesn't panic. Takes ages and ages to get the ball into control. No pressure from the Kilmarnock defenders. And picks his spot beautifully. Across the goalkeeper again, the right place to put it. And it's in the back of the net.
And I'll tell you what, Sandy, Chris Sutton wasn't far away from getting his toe to this. Lovely pass from Ross Wallace, and all the composure in the world from Sean Maloney. But look how close Chris Sutton was to diverting that into the net. If he had done, it was his hat-trick.
I'm sure he would have claimed it as well. But if you're Kilmarnock, Rob, you've got to say, why has Maloney get so much time? Why has Wallace get so much time to pick their passes, pick the spot, and score a simple goal?
Canero against Sylla, no penalty. There is no good news for the Kilmarnock supporters, many of whom now are trooping towards the exits.
Frustration there from Gary McSwegan. We'll say it here, it's Canero with Momo Sylla. They're close together. I tell you what, is that any different from the one that Petrov gets?
No.
It's
Again,
as much or as little.
Yeah, I mean, Peter Canero's looking for it there, isn't he?
Yeah,
looking for the excuse to hit the deck.
Yeah.
That time, though, Hugh Dallas wasn't pointing at the spot, as he did in the first half, when Jim Jeffries saw Petrov and McDonald tangle. Very little in it, but that was the penalty that gave Celtic the lead. And now it's plain sailing for the Premier League leaders. 3 points coming their way, 4 goals already, and an 8-point lead over Rangers. Rangers will look to make it 5 with their home game coming up against Partick Thistle. But Celtic asking questions of their title rivals. It's an unconventional layoff from Colin Nish. Worked well. Now with Steve Fulton. McLaughlin to Shields. The jump pass leaves a lot to be desired, and Kilmarnock running the risk now of being mauled by Celtic. They've lost 4 goals already. It could get worse for them. Larsson to Sutton. Miller to Sylla. It was 4-0 Celtic on the final day of last season. Not quite enough to win them the championship. It's 4-0 again on Kilmarnock's home patch, and Killy, having had a good spell, have crumbled.
Well, Rob, I'm just going to say that the game for a long spell was balanced at 1-0 in Celtic's favour. At that point, Kilmarnock looked as if they could maybe get back in the game. 1 or 2 opportunities going forward, especially at set pieces. But as soon as the second goal went in from John Hartson, we said that it was going to be vital, the second goal. Celtic got that goal, and it's been so easy since then.
Maloney to Miller. Then Wallace. Deflected off Shields, cleared by Fulton.
There's an injury there to Liam Miller, Rob, struggling.
Bit of cramp, I think, for Miller, who has the distinction in the Celtic first team squad of having featured in all 18 games this season. Sean Maloney, the scorer of Celtic's 4th goal. He has this uncanny habit of getting his goal when he comes on, set up by Ross Wallace, chested down by Maloney. He could see the whites of Dubourdeau's eyes, and he steered his shot across and away from the Kilmarnock keeper and in. Here's how Liam Miller hurt himself, just overstretched a bit there, and a touch of cramp.
I tell you, Rob, I'm sure Martin will be hoping it is cramp and not a hamstring problem. And certainly late in the game, if there's any doubt at all at 4-0 with 2 minutes to go, I'm sure Celtic will be quite happy to play with 10 men. But we're hoping it's cramp and not a strain.
The initial reaction when he was on the ground seemed to be that it was cramp, and well, you can see by the look on Martin O'Neill's face that he too is concerned that it's something a bit more serious. Celtic will want Miller to be involved, or at least to have that option in the home game against Anderlecht on Wednesday. one they have to win in the Champions League. They've won here with a bit to spare. 4-0, and still a few minutes to go. And we're back here next weekend, next Sunday it is. 3 o'clock kickoff. We're on the air from 2:40. It's Kilmarnock against Rangers this time. It's a tough couple of games for the Rugby Park team. McNamara's pass picks out Larsson. He's in behind Dindeleux. It's another penalty. And I don't think there'll be any great debate about it this time. No complaints from Freddie Dindeleux. No. Larsson wins the penalty, and it's about to be 5.
Certainly a penalty. Great ball from Jackie McNamara, and Larsson does it so well. Gets beyond the defender, then cuts in front of Dindeleux, enticing the challenge again. And when Dindeleux doesn't get the ball, he gets the player. It's a Stonewall penalty that time. Big Frenchman not complaining at all. Chris Sutton again.
He scored from the penalty spot in the first half. Can he do the same again in the second? Pete Ellis wants to have a word with Steve Fulton first. I think he was questioning the award of the penalty. He had a word with Larsson. I know Larsson did was quirk one eyebrow towards him, Roger Moore style. And that was his response.
Roger who?
Well, the debate goes on. And Steve Fulton's dissent wins him a yellow card.
I tell you what, that's very unfair in Chris Sutton. No pressure at 4-0, but I could put a player off.
Chris Sutton for penalty number 2. He makes it. A hat-trick for Chris Sutton. 5-0 Celtic.
Again, it's a simple penalty kick. Chris Sutton knows exactly what he's doing before he walks up to the ball. He knows where it's going. Dubourdeau, it doesn't matter if he picks the right way as he does there. So much power, so much accuracy. He's never going to save it.
Chris Sutton was public enemy number 1 for many on the last day of last season. He's the Celtic hero here with a hat-trick and a 5-star performance to go along with it.
And right, Rob, he's man back to Scotland man in the match today. There can be no complaints at all. He's been everywhere all over the field. He's obviously scored 3 goals, but not all about his 3 goals. When you see the work rate he has going back the way, defending at set pieces, matching runs from centre midfield, he's been totally outstanding today.
Gary McDonald, Gary McSwegan, off Balde. Gary McSwegan picked up a yellow card as well in the wake of that penalty award. Fulton and McSwegan both booked.
I think it's frustration, Rob, as much as anything else. 2 experienced players.
In the 2nd minute of stoppage time. And it's another Kilmarnock corner, this time on the other side. 3 goals for Sutton, 1 for Maloney, 1 for Hartson. 5-0 Celtic at the thumping for Kilmarnock on their home patch.
It is, Rob. That's the thing that'll disappoint Jim Jeffries more than anything else. They've just capitulated in the last 20 minutes or so.
Fulton's corner came off the head of Balde. Goal kick.
Again, no real threat from the corner kick. He's probably been Kilmarnock's best player today, Gordon Greer. Certainly full of commitment, but not enough to get his team any kind of result.
It's all over at Rugby Park. 5 goals and 3 points for Celtic. They go 8 clear at the top of the Premier League. And, well, a standout performance from Chris Sutton. No great doubts that he was man of the match. And Martin O'Neill got exactly what he wanted from Celtic. Only 1 goal in the first half, that hotly debated penalty, but no arguments about 4 more goals for the Premier League leaders in the second half. Chris Sutton completed his hat-trick. Sean Maloney scored Celtic's 4th, and John Hartson was on the mark as well, as Kilmarnock were ruthlessly swept aside. And having had a decent spell in the middle of the match, Kilmarnock crumbled in the end, and Jim Jeffries will have some harsh things to say, I'm sure, about the way his team performed here. No complaints about Chris Sutton, he's man of the match.
Chris, I can have this delivered on a regular basis. I'm becoming your official champagne supplier, but you're deserving it. You're playing well these days, are you not?
Well, the main thing is the team wins, you know, and we've got ourselves in a good position in the league, but there's a hell of a long way to go, and we've just got to grind it out every week now.
Before we talk about the team, about yourself, I understand that maybe representatives from England watching you Wednesday. Do you have ambitions again to get back into the England side?
Oh, I think those days are gone, really. I think they had a problem on the left more than anything. I think there's plenty of strikers ahead of me in the pecking order, but I'm playing in midfield at the moment anyway. So
it doesn't seem to matter where you play. That was going to be my point. I mean, are you enjoying the midfield role?
Yeah, I mean, we've got a lot of competition in every position, so I just have to play where I'm put. But I'm certainly enjoying the role. Yeah.
Well, we've got a little, I think, montage of your contributions we can look at this afternoon. First of all, I think the penalty incident. Now, I think Kilmarnock felt this was not a penalty kick. Did you feel it was?
I think. I think Stain got his body in and he just got clipped really. So no, I think that was a penalty.
And a casual finish for yourself for the first one, and you're off and running.
I wouldn't say casual.
the second goal, great run.
Yeah, no, it was a good ball from Henrik. To find us there really, but I mean everybody knows what Henrik's capable of. So it's a fantastic ball.
Another penalty kick.
Yeah, no, I mean it's nice to score a couple of penalties, but we'll keep sticking.
And this is your work. We're getting back, great tackle. What midfield players, defenders, all-round performance, Sean.
Well, no, I mean that's just nice to win the game, really, and keep us. We were 8 points clear now, so.
It puts all the pressure onto Rangers who's still to play Partick Thistle this afternoon.
Yeah, but I mean, I think we always expect Rangers to win, but we've just got to stay as far ahead as possible.
There's been some tremendous performances by Celtic over the last few weeks, though, hasn't there?
Well, I mean, we didn't perform too well in Anderlecht, and with that game coming up, we've really got to be on a mettle to win on Wednesday.
Yeah, just looking forward to that game. Obviously, a worry over Liam Miller, who went off at the end there. I think hopefully just cramp from him, but you've got to win this one, don't you?
Yeah, I think for us to have any realistic chance of going through, we'll have to win on Wednesday. As I said, we were disappointing when we played in Anderlecht, but I think everybody underestimated them a bit. They're winning their league easily, and they've got many good players, as everybody saw. So if we're not at our best on Wednesday, we'll get beat.
And a better frame of mind since your last post-match interview at Rugby Park.
I think so, yeah.
Thanks, well done, Chris.
Thanks.
Cheers.
Thank you.
Martin, you've been purring with delight in post-match interviews recently, and not surprisingly, I guess it's the same today, is it?
I thought we played very well. I was concerned about the game beforehand, and obviously most matches difficult away, especially here, other than the last time that we played. And there's nothing between the sides, so really, really pleased. I thought we played exceptionally well, and just delighted that we've won.
Yeah, and it gives you, because you were able to use so many players, it gives you options ahead of the game against Anderlecht. First of all, how's Liam Miller?
Well, he's hopefully it's just a bout of cramp, and he seems to be responding not too badly here in the dressing room at the moment. But as Roddy and the physios will have a look again tomorrow after he's had some ice on it today. But I'm hopeful more than anything else. But that would be an annoyance really, because he's picked up the mantle, and I think he's done exceptionally well. Absolutely terrific. He looks as if he's been around for 60 games rather than 6 or 7. Really pleased. Young Sean Maloney again. He's got a 10 or 15 minutes little cameo role, whatever the case may be. He's desperately unlucky not to be in the starting lineup on this side, but if he just stays with it, I think he's an exceptional little player.
Yeah, and of course you introduced young Wallace, and again another young man coming through. Looks like could be a fine Celtic player of the future. Yeah. We talked about it beforehand. He is a very, very good player, no doubt about it. He's a real handful in the making, or if there's such a thing, a real player in the making, I should say. But and there we were telling him to charge on into the penalty box, don't look up, or whatever the case may be, try and beat the last man, and he's picked wee Sean out for the goal. But I think that's the bright part about the football club. We've got some of these young kids. Now, I've said to you before, if you put 5, 6, 7 of them into the side at the one time, that we wouldn't be guaranteed winning any game at whatsoever. You need some experienced players alongside it. But it's great for them. They're playing with top quality players. They're getting to learn the game a wee bit more quickly. And when it comes to the point that they will have to stand on their own 2 feet, which they will do, then they're capable of doing it. And they're capable of thrusting the club forward, which is really good news for us. I handed the man of the match champagne to your man Sutton again. I mean, it doesn't matter where you play, this guy seems to do a job for you.
Oh yeah, when the last time he was down here, he got a man of the match, and I think somebody shouted, "Mind what you say." in the interview, but delighted. He's done very, very well indeed. He can play all over the pitch for us, and he was magnificent today, I thought, and I'm delighted for him.
I wonder if you could just give us a little word of your own opinion in a Scotland sense. Messrs Douglas and Lambert, different reasons, of course, but from Betty Boat's point of view, do you think they'll be ready for different reasons for a fortnight today?
Well, I think that Paul's very frustrated at the moment. You know, he's champing the bit. He doesn't want to miss many games, but he knows himself that he needs the injury to clear up. It's not, as I mentioned yesterday, it is not a career-threatening injury. It's, you know, somebody picks up some snippet, I should say, of information and gets on, and the next thing it's all blown up. It's been a problem now for a little while, but he's getting better. There's no doubt about it. I think that the Scotland game would probably, knowing that you're a midfield player and you need some games, that might be a wee bit early. For Rab Douglas, Rab will be absolutely ready for it. He has said before he'll be playing first team games for us, and not in the not too distant future. He is definitely ready for that one.
And a word about the big one against Anderlecht on Wednesday, Martin, of the players you mentioned, obviously Liam Miller, and hopefully he'll be fit. Anyone else come into? I mean, did you change your team much from today?
Well, I think that first of all, we never had a thought about the game, or didn't want to have a thought about the game at all. This was the most important fixture coming up. We've won the game, we're delighted, and we'll give Anderlecht plenty of thought now in the next couple of days. Yeah, we'll go with as much determination as we can possibly muster. We'll go and try and play as well as we did against Lyon here, and if we play as well in that game, then we can do it. If we play poorly as we did in Anderlecht, then it's going to be a long, hard evening for us. But we're capable of doing it.
Good luck on Wednesday, and well done today, Martin.
Thanks very much indeed. Thank you, Chief.